Okay, so I'm now going to do just like a stippled glaze, my normal stippled glaze, in the shadowy areas, just under these trees here, using ivory black, sap green and a cobalt blue hue. So that is now, even though, what have I spent? Maybe 25 minutes in putting that darker glaze on. And it's not perfect, it will need more shading and what have you. There's a lot more, obviously a lot more to do to it, but already that's started to look like the photograph. It looks like there's a lot more work has gone into it than actually has. And now it's just a case of adding the branches, some more darker areas and things like that, just to build it up. Trying not to do it all just in one go. It's about I'll do a layer of darks as I've just done, a layer of branches, a layer of twiggery, a layer of lighter canopies, and then there might be lighter branches over the top. So you're not trying to get, you know, a section done at a time as if I would do, as if I was doing a hyperreal picture. And you'll find this will be a quicker way of doing it as well. That the glaze has been done with liquid, and because of that, there we are, there's the liquid. It's the original that I use, but it dries quite quickly. I'm not going to wait for that to be totally dry before I start working on it. It's just a matter of minutes. So, I mean, it's you know, it's still wet, but probably an hour or so that'll start to be tacky. But as I say, I can start painting on it straight away. Right, so the path, it goes right up here. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start on the furthest point. So we're just going to make sure that path looks like a path, basically. With every step, it starts to look more and more like the photograph. So I've started putting the trunks in. These ones at the lower level you can see, and they're all in the shade, so they're darker. There's a few of them that have got sort of like a more of a mauvey edge to them, which I'll put in. But I think what I'm going to do now is there's quite a lot of sort of under foliage, and then I'll do some more branches over the top of that. But let's get going now on some of this sort of shaded foliage that's under here. So I'm starting to build up now on a bit more of the shapes that you've got in this tree here. It's some sort of a fir tree, I don't know which one. I'm not going to put my neck out here and say it's a Scots pine or whatever if it's not. So what we're going to do is just going to say it's a tree, just to be safe. But anyway, I'm copying I'm copying the just what I see here with these lighter canopies. It will need a bit more, I think, stronger colour over the top once I've done it, but just getting the basics in. And I'm kind of just using this rigger brush, I'm just sketching it on here. It's not very thick. In fact, I'm using white spirit. It's very thinned down, the paint. So it's not, it's not looking that strong colour-wise, but we will go over it with thicker paints. Right, I'm going to leave that at that for the minute, and I'm going to start working over here because there are some branches that are coming out, or there's a branch in particular that's coming over and covering some of this area, so I won't put any more under there just yet, and I'm going to now go over to here. Question is, do I put in the trunks and the branches first? Because there's a fair amount of detail behind those trunks. Decisions. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just do another glaze to put in some more sort of stipple in there, so it looks like there's a bit more detail, and then I'll go over with some branches. I think that's probably what I'll do. Not sure that's quite the right brush. Let's get a new one out. Maybe something a bit bigger. So number 2, what's that one? Number 2 rigger should do it. Slightly bigger. The tree trunks here are starting to take shape now. Of course, the colour's not quite right. That's fine. We'll get that right a bit later. But there's sort of inside there. There's still loads of more subtle branches and twigs and things. I mean, there's loads and loads of them. So I think I'll put those in now because a lot of them are behind these trunks here. There are a few in front, but the majority of them are behind. So if I do that now, and because they're a bit more subtle, I'm going to go with a colour that is going to stand out a little bit less. Probably even a little bit less than that. So I'll darken it a bit with a bit of burnt umber, which I've already got down, and a bit of ivory black. So I'm going to start adding just some shaded areas, and then I'll add the usual sort of darks and lights that you get on a tree like this. So just on the left hand side of each trunk, you've just got that shadow. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do this trunk here, and I'll put rather than doing it all, I'll try and get this one as near to being correct as I can, just to show you. Put on some lighter areas now. I even think the white bits on there are probably a bit whiter. Let's put a few in, see if we can get it to really pop. So just going thicker. Sort of thing. coming along nicely. It's one of those pictures, because there's a lot going on in it. There's not much sky, not much flat area. It's going to take a bit longer than normal, but I think it'll be worth it. I really think it's striking with these silver birch trees in here. Probably, I think what I'll do also is I might put some rabbits or something on the path here. But tomorrow I think we'll get the trees finished, the majority, if not all, of the path and the grass and the dead leaves done. Yeah, a full day tomorrow we should be pretty good. So yeah, tune in for the next video if you want to see this picture finished. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.